Welcome to today's GameLeap video, ladies and gents. Today, I'll be giving you guys the best pickup and strats you can use for free Season 13 LP. For those who don't know who I am, I'm Coach Mito. I've been a Challenger player since Season 7, so allow me to teach you guys some insight on how to start your own Challenger climb off right this season. Let's begin. Starting off with champions, I'm going to be listing the best champion for each role, and if you already play these champions, perfect. Keep them ready and in your pocket for Season 13, and if you don't play these champions I'm about to list, feel free to pick them up in the coming weeks before Season 13, just so you can get along the free LP train. Starting off in the top lane, we have Cassante. This champion has been a true menace since release, being the bigger, tankier version of Yasuo and Yone. His ability to skirmish, tank, and isolate makes him the single best top laner by far. He can abuse the new OP tank items, which we will get into later, while dealing tons of damage. Imagine a champion that can be as tanky or tankier than Ornn that can deal the same amount of damage as a Yone or a Riven. Truly remarkable and has very little losing matchups. Up next, we have Jungle. Udyr post rework has still been dominating the Rift with this insane flexibility to go either full AD assassin or AP bruiser super tank. His ability to clear quickly and have such a strong skirmishing capability early game really sets him tiers above the rest. This champion can power farm, he can full clear, he can gank early, he can do it all. This champion is easily blind pickable once you learn how to play his two setups, which are going to be the AD assassin going the Prowler Claw tech, or you're going to be going the AP bruiser, which is going to revolve around you going Jack Show. That being said, if you're interested, please use our link down below to visit GameLeap.com and get yourself a subscription today. While this video is going to give you guys the ideas and strategies that you want to know, our site holds the in-depth coaching and gameplay that you need in order to abuse these strategies to their max potential. Moving on to mid lane, mid is going to shake things up with an unexpected high skill pick, with Zed being the champion that you should be playing in order to hoard as much LP as possible. With Zed being one of the best users of Omnivamp and CDR and raw AD in general, the reworked Ravenous Hydra has given Zed everything he has ever wanted in an item other than lethality. To keep up with all the CDR and damage you are getting early, many Zed mains have begun to swap over to maxing W second to spam abilities from long range and to keep agile by swapping between their shadows over and over and over, being able to poke out opponents and being able to stay on their toes. But as stated as before, this is a very high skill cap champion, so in order to get the best rewards, you gotta level up your game. In the ADC position, we have none other than the Sheriff of Piltover herself, Caitlyn. Caitlyn has been good for a while now, but after all these tank buffs and meta changes, she has still found her way to the top through versatility within her build and the ability to mix and match with almost any support that comes into the meta. If you find yourself against a really squishy team, go Gale Force to reposition and outplay your opponent. This build is extremely fun and gives you the big outplay potential for you to full combo and do what Gumayusi does on stage. If you are the backline carry that your team needs to go against a huge wall of tanks, bring Kraken Slayer with you to shred them to paper. You deal a ton of DPS, are able to get a ton of free attack speed from your item, and you're going to be switching from a burst-like build, unlike the Gale Force, and going Phantom Dancer into other standard crit items to deal your consistent DPS. If you need a way to survive a ton of burst, then Immortal Shield Blow has your name on it to give you a good amount of survivability from everything that is trying to just jump on you and kill you. As well, since mid lane has Zed as the most popular pick, he's an assassin, you're going to need a way to stay alive versus that. Immortal Shield Bow definitely will save you. And last but definitely not least, the tier 1 S tier support champion is none other than Heimerdinger. Since his debut at Worlds 2022, this champion has been a menace to contain, as even pro players have yet to find a consistent answer to the Sentry Universe support. Even Beryl, the man, the myth, the legend, the world champion who even brought up this pick, he is still finding different champions that can consistently beat his own creation. That's how insane it is. Being able to hold permanent priority in lane while being able to build full damage, and in case since you're full prow you're always pushed, enemy junglers may look to gank your lane a lot. Heimerdinger with his turrets can deter and ward off those ganks, because if an enemy mispositions and they walk into 2 or even 3 Heimerdinger turrets and eat any of Heimerdinger's basic abilities, oh, it's lights out for them and it is a easy 2v3 scenario. Ridiculous. This champion is so oppressive to play against that almost no one likes playing against it. But you know what you should like? This video for giving you guys optimal picks that you can hone and ready for this upcoming season. While you're at it, hit the sub button and press the bell to get notifications if we decide to release any more free LP secrets as season 13 is coming and creeping up on us. Alright, moving on to what preseason really shook up. Items. So which items have been dominating the meta and are borderline uncontrollable? Well, for starters, everyone is pretty much expecting us to say this one, and it's going to be none other than Jack's Show. Jack's Show has been quite the troublesome item for making every bruiser such as Fiora, Irelia, sometimes even I've seen Riven do it. They turn these simple bruisers into god tier tanks that no one has ever seen before. I've seen Irelia go Blade the Rune King that she normally does, which is already OP enough, straight into Jack's Show, and she can pretty much be full build. It's genuinely not balanced. And not only that, while it can turn every bruiser into a tank, it can turn every tank, which is, Cassante, Ornn, those two. They turn those two tanks into insane Thanos killing units. And Mundo. Being able to obtain so many bonus tank stats while enhancing your damage is comically imbalanced. So I have no idea what Riot was thinking about not touching this item. But hey, who are we to complain if we're using this item to benefit our LP gains, right? Up next, another expected item if I had to be honest, and you can guess it. Yep, that's right, it's Ravenous Hydra. This item on release was probably the biggest mistake since Deathfire Grass days or peak Hextech Gunblade era. To give any AD champion the ability to stack up AD and Omnivamp when the item already gives you those stats in such great value was truly a sight to behold and honestly to use when I played it during the preseason. Even in its nerf state right now of removing the stackable Omnivamp, this item still has pretty insane bonkers ability to stack raw AD and just give you more AD than any one champion could probably use at that given time of completion. And finally, we're going to get into Navori Quickblade and Spear Shojin. These items turn normal Summoner Rift into Earth when built. And as we all know, we do not like that Earth mode in our normal Summoner's Rift games, especially in Rank 2. We all know that being able to reduce CDR quickly is not a balanced ability to have when we can all remember the terror of Spear Shojin Jax, Renekton, and Lucian. Those were some really dark times where it was just Helicopter Jax not being able to die, Renekton just perma-stunning every 2 seconds, and Lucian just after every auto. That was not balanced. Well, I'm here to say they're back. But thankfully, they're not as broken as before, but they still hold their value at giving certain champions ways to break the game. Lucian, Trend, and Kai'Sa have found their insane DPS spike upon completing Navori, while Ezreal, Riven, and Hecarim have found their true love in Spear Shojin being able to spam their Q like no tomorrow, and honestly, just watching them have so much fun makes me mad. But as the old saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So that about wraps up this video. Again, you guys should really take note of all of these free champions that we're just leaking out to you guys and abuse the items that everyone has already been using. They're not going to get nerfed anytime soon knowing Riot because, well, they're new, they're released. They want these items to have some form of showing. So why not abuse them for our own LP while we can, right? It's basically like playing Lux because, she gets a skin every other, 2 weeks, something like that. And that about wraps up this video. If you guys have any secret picks or strats that you want to tell us about, leave a comment below and maybe I'll make a video off your suggestion. Till next time, fellas, Coach Mito out.